Indonesia has reported 14 deaths and 55 new COVID-19 infections. It's the biggest daily increase that we've seen. There are now 227 cases, barely 3 weeks after the country reported its very first case. As the numbers rise, the World Health Organization is warning the whole region needs to take aggressive action. It says that some countries in Southeast Asia are heading towards community transmission, and more clusters are being confirmed. Several countries in the region have already introduced drastic measures to curb the spread. Malaysia has effectively entered a 2-week lockdown with nearly 800 cases. Singapore, Brunei, Vietnam and Cambodia have all reported cases linked to a religious event on the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur.
The Philippines has quarantined all of Luzon Island, and it's also declared a nationwide state of calamity for 6 months, which allows authorities to quickly draw on funds for relief efforts. And the country has nearly 200 confirmed cases and more than a dozen deaths. Vietnam has suspended the issue of visas to foreigners for 30 days, and the country will also quarantine all arrivals from the US, Europe and other ASEAN nations. It's recorded more than 65 cases.
Well, meantime, Laos, Timor Leste and Myanmar are the only Southeast Asian countries that have not reported any cases. There are concerns that this is due to a lack of testing. A Myanmar government spokesman has been criticized online for suggesting lifestyle and diet are keeping them safe.
Well, for more on the situation in Indonesia, Saiful Bahri Ismail joins us live now. Saiful, so what can you tell us about the latest victims?
Well, you know, majority of the COVID-19 patients who have died are in Jakarta. Out of the total of 19 deaths, 12 are from the Indonesian capital. Central Java province has 2 deaths. Other provinces like Bali, Banten, Yogyakarta, West Java, East Java, and North Sumatra each has 1 death. Now, Jakarta also has the most number of new confirmed cases. Out of the 55 confirmed cases, 30 are from Jakarta. Now, these spike in cases are not surprising. On Tuesday, the Health Ministry has said to expect the surge in cases as authorities intensify efforts in detection and contact tracing. Though the Health Ministry also said that the death toll had soared from the previous day because several hospitals had failed to submit their fatality reports from March 12th to March 17th. Authorities said that with the trend of confirmed cases continuing to rise every day, it is now critical to ensure that there's sufficient medical facilities to cope with the numbers. Now, the Health Ministry said that more private sector hospitals in Jakarta have joined in the fight against the virus. 3 major private hospitals have said that they will dedicate their entire capacity to treat COVID-19 patients. A total of 300 beds will be available. Now, in addition, these hospitals will also dedicate their network of laboratories to help conduct tests on samples for suspected COVID-19 cases. Indonesia is also getting more test kits. The Health Ministry said it has already obtained some 10,000 test kits. Authorities said they are working with their counterparts in China to acquire about 500,000 more test kits.
Saiful, on the back of this rise now that we're seeing in Indonesia, the country is poised to widen travel restrictions in the coming days, we understand. Can you tell us more?
Well, that's right. Indonesia will suspend its visa-free and visa-on-arrival arrangements for 1 month, starting Friday, that's 20th of March, as part of attempts to contain the coronavirus outbreak. Travelers can still visit Indonesia, but they must obtain a visa from Indonesian missions stating the purpose of their visit and must provide a health certificate issued by a relevant health authority from their respective countries. They also have to complete and submit a health alert certificate to the health quarantine office upon arrival at Indonesian airports. The visa exemption will affect many countries. Currently, 170 jurisdictions can visit Indonesia without visa for 30 days. Meanwhile, there will also be a temporary ban for people who have traveled to Iran, Italy, the Vatican, Spain, France, Germany, Switzerland and the United Kingdom in the last 14 days from entering or transiting in Indonesia. Jakarta has also maintained travel restrictions for those with a history of travel to China as well, 2 of South Korea's hardest hit regions.
Saiful, thank you very much for that update. Saiful Bahri Ismail there on the coronavirus situation that we're seeing develop in Indonesia.